And welcome. It is wonderful to be here with you at this time. We know that you have much in your lives that is going on. There is much going on your planet at this time. There are a lot of energy shifts that you have become aware of. And at times you may feel overwhelmed by the energy changes that are happening. Please know that this has been planned for a very, very long time for all of you to come to this point in your development, in your evolution. You have the option of greeting these changes with optimism and joy and curiosity. We encourage you to be curious rather than frightful. Fear is not useful at this time. Fear has been a manipulation for humans for so very long. We encourage you to release it and replace it with curiosity and joy, and knowing that you have chosen to be here at this time to bear witness, to participate directly or indirectly. And we are grateful to all of you to shine your light, to be a lighthouse, to be part of all that is, and bring yourselves together to celebrate this time. It may appear to be a time of disturbance. That is all right. Understand that this is a process of purging old energy. This is a check-in. When you notice things that do not align with who you are today, recognize that you do not align with them, and recognize how far you individually and collectively have come. This is a beautiful time of transition and opening. You have heard the term awakening very often, and that is an apt description. It is as if you are coming out of a long slumber. And when you come out of a long slumber, there is an urge to stretch, and allow yourself to do that, to stretch, to expand, to have curiosity. Recognize this is a time for you to bring the best of you forward, your gifts, your ideas, explore, expand, try new things, and stay on the sunny side as much as you can. Bring your beauty, recognize, acknowledge your own beauty and the beauty of others around you. When you see something beautiful or joyful or pleasing, acknowledge it. Say something. Say something to each other. Allow that moment of unrestricted love and connection for your fellow human who is doing the best they can on any day, just as you are. These are little sparks of light. You have a term for them. You call them glimmers. Yes, a glimmer is a beautiful name for this small interaction, whether it is spoken or simply acknowledged in your mind and amplified. You may speak to someone, pay them a compliment, or send them loving, healing, and peaceful energy at any time. You have so much more choice of how you think than you may have thought. You can choose these loving thoughts at any time. At any time, if you see something you do not agree with, yes, acknowledge it, but perhaps also send peace and compassion to the person who does not think the way you do at this time. You are all exploring, you are all developing, you are all trying things on. That is perfect. At one time, you were all toddlers learning how to walk, which also meant that you fell down. That was part of your journey of development to become an adult. When you were teenagers, you tried on many things, perhaps, many different ideas, many different types of clothing, styling, as it were, to see what suits you best before you may have decided on the costume you would wear for many years. Understand, too, that this is a time that you may be shedding an identity that you wore for a long time, as that identity does not fit. It is too small. Allow yourself to reclaim the parts of you that you may have given up, that you enjoyed, in order to do other things. And those other things may have had to do with survival. And those were the choices that you made at that time. This is a time of expansion beyond survival. This is a time to figure out how to thrive, how to be the best version of yourself, to discover who that best version is, who that loving, beautiful being that you are and that you came in as, to allow yourself to shed some of your stories that no longer serve you or are not who you would like to be going forward. Allow that. Allow that energy to resolve and release, for there are better things coming. And you have questions for us today?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. I so the we are changing the format of our conversations to be more on a specific topic that we can get some insight from you. And then we'd like to open up with some questions from our audience or those who have joined us tonight. But the topic of conversation we'd like to address tonight is specifically to address anyone who identifies as a star seed, a light worker, or an old soul. So, my first question is that those of us who do identify as one of those three things are beginning to understand that we are preparing for open contact with our galactic family. And things seem to be ramping up during this time, specifically for that contact. Can you address what open contact truly means and how it might unfold for humanity?
When humanity is at a point that is peaceful, when the vibration, the collective vibration, is high enough for us to be able to manifest more physically in your reality, then open contact may occur. The timeline for that is not set yet because there are a lot of changes that are going on, and we are very happy to see this, but it may be a few years yet. So the question may be, what would you do to assist, what each of you can do to assist in making that a reality sooner or at all? And that all begins with each of you individually. You have a saying that peace begins with me. This is a most apt phrase. The choices that you make, we spoke just a moment ago about your choices of thought. Your thoughts are very, very powerful. Your thoughts manifest energy. Quite literally, they manifest energy. We understand that there is much at this time that you may be disagreeing with that is coming out around you. We would ask you to shift your attention to the other side of these disturbing events and see what is being done that is happy is too simple of a word, but what is helpful, what is unifying, what is compassionate. Find those stories and pour your energy into that rather than the disruptive, fear-mongering stories that are out there. Please do remember that your news is no longer journalism. It is entertainment. Your news outlets are owned by entertainment companies. So they are no different than your movies or TV shows. So keep that in mind when you are consuming anything that is coming from that, and you might be better served reading actual journalism if you feel that you need to know what is going on. But otherwise, watch the people who are leading positive movements. There are many beautiful things that are going on your planet at this time. There are people of great insight who are creating inventions to clean up your oceans, for instance, to clean up your waterways. Your water is precious. Consider those who are doing that. Consider those who are researching, developing, and teaching about regenerating your soil. Put your energy and attention. As you know, where your attention goes, so flows your energy. And as very powerful beings, please consider putting your energy and your attention and your thumbs up, if you will, to the people who are doing that. Yes, your social medias are a great way of understanding what you call your law of attraction. It is really a law of attention. So vote for the ideas, the philosophies, the actions that are helpful to humanity, that are unifying and compassionate. You are moving from a time of judgment. This judgment was mm, a method of operating that was helpful to you to survive in the groups that you were in the situations that you were in. Conformity was king because you required numbers in order to survive. So anyone who was outside of that conformity was rejected, and that could be quite literally a life or death sentence for you. Therefore, you developed great skills to conform. There is a time now when that judgment that was useful to you, they're different, that's wrong, you're not wearing the right outfit, your hair is not correct, your language is not correct. All of these judgments kept you separated. That time is over. It is now time to recognize how much you have in common, not what your differences are. And if you recognize your differences, they may be celebrated and incorporated. We are thinking of your various cultures in food and clothing and designs. These are beautiful. We are asking all of you to explore and expand your gifts, artistic gifts, music. Think of culture, food, music, clothing, art, dance. Celebrate all of this. Do not condemn it. Do not judge it for being different. And judging, we mean a negative judgment. Rather, embrace it. Embrace, as you have in your business vernacular, best practices, rather than dominance and submission, which has for so long plagued humanity, conquering scarcity. Rather, consider abundance and enjoying each other, enjoying your traditions, keeping them alive. This is not meant for everyone to, again, conform to one style, one way of being. You are not a hive mind. You are brilliant points of light, each of you. And you come into this life to explore a variety of experiences. Enjoy that. Recognize that you are doing that. The country that you are in had a beautiful phrase, and that was that it was a melting pot of many cultures and many experiences. This is why you can go into almost any town or city and have any type of food you would like. This is a beautiful thing. You now, through social media, can share recipes, can share music, can share styles, clothing, hints how to make things. There is so much available for you out there now to enhance your lives. You are moving from the overlord who controls all and who controls not only all of your resources, but all of your thought. You are moving away from that. And this is beautiful. Allow yourself to do that. Check in with yourself when you find you have an old default setting, an old way of thinking that pops up or pops out of your mouth. You may find yourself saying things that you learned as a child, perhaps in the last century. When that happens, ask yourself, does this still serve me? Or is it a judgment? The best way to peace is to allow judgment to be released.
This seems like it may, you say a few years, but as I'm processing what you're saying, it feels like it's more of a generational shift uh, than something that is measured by time right now. So when I say that, I mean, yes, I do. I see both. I see that we have a quite an awakening and people more there's a mass of people that are reaching for high frequency, reaching for love, looking for unity. But we also see quite a lot of disturbance. And for someone who is always reaching for love, not perfect, but someone who tries to be on the, the side of love more often than not, I still, I still have a little thread of doubt that, in order for, open contact to happen, for us to be raising our frequency, um, I'm not seeing it as a large part of our population. And whether that's the United States or, whether that's across the world from us, I just am not seeing that. Uh, I do think a lot of it depends on the light workers and to raise the frequency around them. But I still see a lot of clinging to old ways that might have to die off with a generation, several generations of humans. How would you address that?
The first part is when you say that you are not seeing that, we would encourage you to look elsewhere, that you are not looking in the right place. Consider what you consume with your mind. What are you looking at? What are you listening to? There is plenty of good news out there. There are plenty of changes that are happening. However, at this time, there are many who do not like change, who are not comfortable with change. Humans in general are not particularly comfortable with change, and yet many can see the benefit from it. So, again, those who are currently controlling your feed, if you will, are literally feeding you information. They exacerbate anything that is even slightly dark in order to get a reaction. Understand it is all about the reaction. And if you think things are bad, then you are easily divided and easily controlled. This has been your history. If you think things are not moving fast enough, consider your entire human history and consider your history since 1989. If you are old enough and were on the planet at the time, that is when your Berlin Wall fell. Something that no one ever thought would happen. And yet, it did. It was like a tug of war that came to a stop. An energy snapped, and the wall came down. In your mind, that may be a long time ago, but if you consider it amongst your entire history, it is not very long, and things have been changing rapidly since then. Consider all of the changes that happened during 2020. There was so much awakening during that time because people had a chance to pause and reconsider their priorities. And they had time to go online and take classes and explore their interests because their normal day-to-day life was interrupted.
So,
So
does it take an interruption in time to get us there?
your habit has been that in order to make transformation in your life, you need a large interruption. This may be a car accident, a divorce, a death in the family, a diagnosis, something that is large enough to cause you to pause and consider. Otherwise, you've just got your head down and you just keep going, one foot in front of the other. You experienced this for decades. That was part of your survival instinct. You just keep going. You don't think about too much. You don't perceive too much. You don't look around too much. That is the master slave scenario that you are coming out of. And
If we've, my apologies.
we encourage you to continue to looking around, looking up, not down.
Thank you. Yes. If as star seeds, light workers, and old souls, um, we face interruptions on a daily basis, I would say. Um, but are we being called right now, um, to prepare for anything specific to help the collective.
Yes, you are being called to stand up. Now, stand up looks different for different people. Stand up may be just letting go of old dogma for yourself, which is where you must begin. You begin at changing the way you think before you can change anyone else's way of thinking, and you embody it. That is first. The light begins with you. You have all the light you need within you. It is just a matter of shedding what you don't need anymore or what you have put on to conform, to fit in, to be that cog in the larger mechanism. Now you are being asked to step away from that and let your light shine. How do you let your light shine? If you are an individual, that is to explore your gifts, artistic gifts, creativity, whether it could be gardening, it could be writing a book, it could be doing a painting, it could be singing, it could be cooking, it could be feeding people. And then it is to take it a step further. And how do you help those around you? That could be volunteering, that could be changing your career into one of the helping professions. It could be answering a calling that you've always had to finish the sentence, whatever it might be. Now, this may cause a mm, ripple in your very close circle. That's all right. It is meant to. This is what you have agreed to do at this time. And you may be leading within your own small circle of people by embodying light, embodying compassion, embodying peace. And what we mean by that is that you are not easily knocked off because you have integrated this peace, this compassion, this non-judgment for yourself. So many of you have been here many, 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 many times. And you are also in this lifetime, releasing a lot of those old constrictions from past life experiences. That old karma is being resolved and released. For those who wish to still squabble, they are choosing to work this out through karma, which does take longer. Um, it is much more experiential than recognizing patterns and making different choices. That there's no judgment with that. Everyone learns the way they learn and the path that they choose. If you are choosing not to be on that karma wheel anymore, if you are, as old souls, tired of doing this, understand that you are here to do it differently. That's why you are here at this time. This is why you couldn't wait to come at this time and be a part of this. Consider at your concerts when everyone holds up a light. If you can visualize that, that is what we see on your planet are so many lights turning on. And there is a unity to that. Look, we are all doing this. We are all participating at this time. We are all feeling this. Spend more time on that vibration than any other. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you. So when we talk about open contact, how does this contact with our galactic family support our spiritual evolution?
By what we are doing right now, speaking with you, more and more channelers are recognizing that they can do this. And we encourage this to open your connection. Think about it this way. As your vibration rises, because you are letting go of ideas and dogmas and constructions that don't serve this new light, this new energy, then you are opening up to more energy from us, more contact with us, all of you, more connection with us. Your connection to us is broadening. It might start out as a trickle that becomes a stream, that becomes a more steady contact. You're going from, say, your Morse code to what you have now that you can call on at any time. Your internet is a great metaphor for this. We are always here. We have been assisting you for many of your lifetimes. There was a time when there were only a few of you who could communicate with us or receive from us because so many were head down working, working, working just to survive, to feed, clothe, and shelter yourself, your family, and being in service to the state. Now you are recognizing that there is more to your life. There is more to understand. There's more going on than just what was taught in your textbooks. And you can add to your list the seekers who recognize there's more going on.
Yes.
And that may have come in a trickle or it may have come in a bang, that recognition that there's more going on. So you have two things that are going on. You recognize that there's more going on here than just what you can sense with your current five senses. And you have a desire to help. All of the groups that you named, and they all overlap, are here to help
Right.
in small ways, in big ways, but it always begins with you and how you think, working through your own traumas to release them and resolve them. That's very important because at this time, they're kind of like they're a catch on you. They're a string to a timeline that can, that is holding you somewhere. So if you can resolve any of that, then that makes you lighter and it's easier to go forward. It's easier to learn new things. It's easier to graduate from one classroom to the next, if you will. And again, we cannot stress enough releasing any judgment for whoever is in any classroom because you've all been in all of the classrooms or will be at some time. It's part of the classrooms that are available on this planet at this time. It is the richness of experience that is available to you, that you have the options for. Let us also address those who have come in to experience the darker, harsher experiences. That is a choice. For those who are on this call at this time, you've already done that.
Yes.
You have the t-shirt, and we are asking you to heal the scars from it, from so many lifetimes of being put upon, shall we say. This is a time for understanding your sovereignty, and sovereignty begins with sovereignty of thought, freedom of thought. Again, it is a beautiful time because you have so much information at your fingertips, literally at your fingertips, that you can say, that's interesting, or no, that's not quite it. What else is out there?
Right.
And as you think it, it is brought to you. That is why your social media is so um, amusing to us. It will, your algorithms will show you, I want more of this. So you click on this and you get more of that and you get more energy. So consider the things that come up that you do not wish to look at. Do not look at them. Do not click on them. It is a perfect metaphor for where to put your energy.
I wasn't going to bring this into the conversation, but I think this is a good segue. Um, and it just feels like a fun way to engage with you. Uh, but recently, Lauren and I were having a discussion with Lauren was playfully approaching AI and a tool called ChatGPT. And she had asked for you and her team to kind of chime in and speak to her or have a conversation with her through some of these AI tools that are now everywhere on the internet. So, are you, as a collective, embedding into I'm sure that's not the right word, but are you infiltrating in the most playful, joyful way that word can be applied? But are you infiltrating and communicating with us through these social media and AI tools?
We assist and have been assisting with all the tools that you have ever had. So it may be simply a turning your attention to something, turning your attention to something in nature, turning your attention to a billboard, turning your attention to a song that is playing. However, we can interact with you, we do. Keep in mind that AI is a more complex tool than the billboard,
Right,
but it is still just a tool. It does not have any more mm, individual consciousness than the
right,
billboard does.
right.
We have been dropping books at your feet, turning your attention to a TV show.
Yes.
Do you follow?
That is particularly true for me, literally dropping books at my feet all the time.
Sometimes it
Yes,
takes a bit more to get your attention,
right,
but please do keep in mind that all tools, no matter what they are, respond to your energy. But again, the AI is just a librarian.
right.
It has faster access to a great amount of data than you would normally have if you were just searching on your own. You may be of an age to recall the card index in the library.
Yes,
So AI is a very upgraded index
yes.
with and it is programmed to be more pleasant.
That's interesting. Um, what timeline shifts are possible as more souls are preparing for open contact?
So we would bring you back to the late 80s and how much change was happening, the harmonic convergence that happened where humanity was pulled, and the question was asked, do you want to move forward? And the answer was yes. And so it is a process, and there will be pockets that will advance. Again, we're speaking linearly so that you may understand this. It is
Sure.
more spherical than linear. So there are pockets of communities who will progress faster than other ones. That's perfectly fine. Um, Choose wisely. Uh, and consider also that you may all have different roles. Some of you may choose to lead the ones who out of darkness, or you may choose the ones to lead who are already beyond that stage or who may be beyond the next stage and the next stage. All is possible. All is possible. How fast things are moving since the late 80s, the early 90s, 2000. Think about all the changes that have happened since 2000. How many of you had a cell phone in the late 90s or one that wasn't large?
Mm,
So consider all of that. How many changes in technology? As technology changes, you also adapt quickly as well. And that doesn't matter how old you are. That matters with uh, your curiosity and your attitude. You know people who do not want anything to do with technology and people who have the latest gadget and are interested in that. And that is a broad spectrum of age. So you spoke earlier about generational. That is a generalization, and some of that is true to an extent, only in that if you've had more time in the last century, you have more dogma, more set ways than if you were born, say, beyond 2000 or beyond 2012. So those who are coming in at this time, the consider the indigo children are now in their late 20s and early 30s. They are now your adults who are beginning to lead your businesses, beginning to choose different ways of farming, who are have the technology and the abilities to clean up your ocean. Those people are also moving into your politics. So there will be, through attrition, there will be changes in the way politics are handled. And I'm sure you would like that to be tomorrow. Um, but if everyone on the planet woke up at once, many systems would break down. So it is happening at the rate that is appropriate.
Thank you.
Consider any other skill that you might have or any other philosophy that you might adopt. Some of it you can adopt lightning fast. You just understand it, you get it, you can integrate it, and some of it has to grow on you a bit.
Yes. Thank you.
It's perfect. It's absolutely appropriate.
Thank you. At this time, I'd just like to open up to any questions from our attendees. And attendees, if you would like to ask a question, at the bottom of your Zoom screen, there is an icon that looks like a heart that says react. All you need to do is just click that and say raise your hand. If that is a problem or you're having trouble seeing that on your screen, there is a chat window. Just say, I have a question in the chat, and I'll be happy to unmute you so you can ask the channel directly.
Please do not be shy. This is a great opportunity to have a conversation.
In the meantime, um, I I do have another question. If there are specific frequencies, foods, or spatial environments that we should be reaching towards more to help our personal vibration and frequency.
Certainly. Food as close to nature as you can get it. We understand that your water systems, food systems, um, have additives in them that may not serve you physically. So we would suggest eating as close to nature as you can, but also with your intention. We spoke about this earlier, how powerful you are, what a quantum being you are. If you can, while you are preparing food, intend to infuse it with love. That will raise the vibration of what you are eating, whether you are preparing it or it's already been prepared for you. Also, to consider sending love back up the line for all the hands who have touched it. Send gratitude to all those hands. That not only raises the vibration of the food that you have in front of you, but it blesses everyone who has worked to bring it to you, who has made an effort to bring it to you. We cannot stress how much your attitude and attention can change the molecular structure of everything around you. So, with that knowledge, you can raise the vibration of what you have in front of you. You had a professor who talked about and researched water. what human interaction, human intention, human thought, what effect it has on water. Consider how much of your body is fluid, and consider blessing your water before you drink it. Consider also if there's anything that you can grow of your own with that blessing the entire time that is growing it and is growing and consuming it with that blessing that you have provided. Sharing that this is a time of great harvest in your northern hemisphere. This is a time of great blessing, blessing amongst friends and family with the sharing of your harvest. This is a time that has traditionally been for community and connection. Go with that, do that. Also, consider all of these devices that you have and the energy that they put off. If while you are sleeping, you can reduce that electromagnetic field as much as you can so that your body and your brain may rest and reset without being bombarded, continuing to be bombarded as it is when you are awake during the day. There are also natural items that you can place in your bedrooms or at your desk to or on your person to break up this EMF. Um, give those a try, give those a blessing, intend for them to work. Again, we cannot stress how important your intention, your thought is on your environment and your body. During this transition, during all of these waves of energy that are coming to your planet, and that you are also trying to assimilate, allow yourself rest, intentional rest, even if it's only for 5 minutes. Close your eyes, ground, go outside, touch a tree, ask for permission and touch a tree. Put your feet on the ground. So many of your shoes and footwear are insulators keeping you separated from the planet. Please do consider more natural fibers on your feet and put your feet on the ground, even if you can only sit in a chair and put your feet on the ground rather than walking. But there is an electric charge that you can discharge into the planet to balance yourself more fully. Get some sunshine whenever possible. Um, 15 minutes just to reconnect. This is connecting above and below. So allow yourself to do that. Maintain your spiritual health by monitoring your thoughts. And when you find yourself aggravated, allow yourself to release it. Exchange that thought with something that you are grateful for. The gratitude is so much more powerful than your aggravation. But do check in, check yourself, and laugh. Laughing is so very powerful. It changes your vibration in an instant. Find the ridiculous and the joyful in every day. To laugh, to smile, to be grateful. Do that. It helps you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Your thoughts have so much effect on everything. Pay attention to them and keep on the sunny side.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time tonight. This was wonderful. We appreciate it. I know there is going to be a part two to this discussion, as there's always a lot of questions around this topic. But we appreciate your time and would like to, if you have any closing statements for us, would like to open that up for you now.
Yes, of course. Thank you also for providing this opportunity for us to have a conversation with you. We love being able to have a conversation, to getting these messages out to remind you of who you are, the beautiful beings that you are, how much you are loved and encouraged. And we are so very proud of you. We recognize the task that you took on to come here at this time. We are with you always. We encourage you to connect with us, to connect with each other, to connect with your planet, to be curious, to be open to the changes that are coming, to recognize when you have old dogmas showing up, and to shake it off. And we bless each and all of you with all the love of Source to all of you at all times. And with that, we will let you proceed to glow as you will.